Getting rich is a violent shock to the system. Most people spend their lives praying for that shock, but they never spend a single second preparing for the impact. If you woke up tomorrow with $1 billion in your bank account, you would likely be broke within 2 years. That isn't a guess, it's a statistical reality for people whose bank accounts grow faster than their character. You think your problem is a lack of money, but your real problem is a lack of systems. You are currently operating on broke brain logic, and $1 billion won't fix that. It will only magnify it. For years, I believed that high standards and massive visions were the key to success. I thought I needed a perfect 5-year plan and a world-shaking why. All that did was keep me paralyzed. Every time I looked at the gap between where I was and where I wanted to be, my brain shut down. It was too heavy. So, I did something that felt irresponsible. I lowered the bar. I stopped trying to be a visionary and started trying to be a janitor. I focused on the boring, the basic, and the immediate. If motivation actually worked, you wouldn't be listening to this. You'd already be in the best shape of your life with a business that runs itself. Motivation is a temporary emotional chemical. It's a high that leaves you crashing the moment things get difficult. I don't want you motivated. I want you disciplined. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you had a bad night's sleep or if you're feeling uncertain. Discipline is a contract you sign with your future self that you refuse to break. Which is why my Don't Go Broke plan starts with a fundamental shift in how you view money. Most people see money as a tool for consumption. They see $1 and think about what it can buy. Wealthy people see money as a tool for production. They see $1 and think about what it can build. If you get $1 billion and your first thought is a Ferrari, you have already lost. You are just a temporary custodian of that money until it inevitably flows back to someone who knows how to keep it. Your brain is a survival organ, not a success organ. Its only job is to keep you safe, familiar, and comfortable. Success is none of those things. Success is dangerous, unfamiliar, and deeply uncomfortable. That's why your brain sabotages you with reasonable excuses. It tells you that you need more research. It tells you that you need to wait for the right market conditions. It tells you that you'll start on Monday. These aren't logical conclusions. They are fear-based survival mechanisms designed to keep you exactly where you are. I lived in that loop for years. I told myself I was being patient and strategic, but I was just hiding. I was using my intelligence to build a cage of excuses that looked like responsibility from the outside. Nothing changed until I realized that a perfect plan that never starts is worth less than a garbage plan that is currently in motion. Action is the only thing that kills the noise. The moment you move, the internal debate stops. Reality enters the room, and your brain is forced to stop theorizing and start reacting. Here is the secret. You are not allowed to think about the results. Future fantasies of being a billionaire are actually a form of mental masturbation. They give you the dopamine of success without any of the work. From this moment on, results are off limits. Your only responsibility is friction. Friction is the resistance you feel when you do something that actually matters. If it feels easy, you aren't moving. If it feels awkward, embarrassing, and slightly annoying, you've finally started. Most people fail because they try to perform excellence before they've earned momentum. They want the high-end systems and the elite habits on day one. That is backwards. Momentum comes first. Standards come later. You have to give yourself permission to start badly. You have to be willing to be the person who only works for 10 minutes, as long as those 10 minutes actually happen. Wealth management is 10% math and 90% behavior. The math is simple. Spend less than you make and invest the rest in assets that grow. The behavior is the hard part. It requires you to kill the version of yourself that needs external validation. It requires you to be okay with people thinking you're boring or lucky. It requires you to stop letting your emotions drive your decisions. If your bank account is tied to your mood, you will always be a slave to your feelings. Once you stop asking, "Do I feel like doing this?" and start asking, "When am I doing this?" the identity shift has begun. You stop negotiating with yourself. You don't negotiate whether or not you're going to brush your teeth in the morning. You just do it because it's a non-negotiable part of your existence. Wealth is built on non-negotiables. It is built on the silent, boring decisions you make when no one is watching and there is no immediate reward. Imagine if for the next week, the only thing that mattered was beginning, not finishing, not winning, just the act of starting the clock. If you remove the pressure to be great, you would finally have the space to be consistent. Consistency is the only thing that compounds. $1 billion is just the end result of 1,000 small, boring decisions that were made correctly over and over again. Stop trying to understand the whole mountain. Just look at the dirt under your feet. Don't confuse learning with doing. Reading about wealth isn't wealth. Watching videos about discipline isn't discipline. The only thing that counts is the movement you make right now. The Don't Go Broke plan isn't a set of instructions. It's a lifestyle of refusing to let your brain stay in the safety of the waiting phase. Your old life is a result of your old habits. If you want a billion-dollar life, you have to burn the old habits and build a system that functions even when you don't want it to. Start today, start now, and for heaven's sake, start small.